Leaving behind the shadowy depths of Duskwood, I embarked on a new journey through the thick jungle of Stranglethorn. The air was heavy with humidity, and the dense foliage seemed to close in around me as I pressed onward. It was the first time that I set foot in this jungle, and I knew it was imperative to remain steadfast upon the established path, for the jungle concealed a myriad of dangers. Venturing off the main route invariably led to peril. On the road to the goblin settlement, a peculiar sensation washed over me like a whisper of ancient magic. Something unknown and mysterious was lingering in the air, and it had left both me and my loyal mount Sagehoof unsettled. I couldn't dispel the sensation that the jungle was whispering to me, enticing me to wander from the path in pursuit of these profound mysteries. I finally arrived at the vibrant port city of Booty Bay. The city sprawled along the coast, its bustling docks filled with a motley assortment of cargoes from all corners of Azeroth. Traders were haggling over exotic goods, goblins engaged in brisk commerce, and adventurers regaling each other with tales of their conquests. The scent of fresh seafood and the clinking of tankards at the bustling tavern filled the air. Booty Bay was a haven for rogues, merchants, and adventurers alike, a place where fortunes were made and secrets were traded. Here in Booty Bay, I had a distinct purpose that I kept closely guarded, a quest known to none but myself. I sought a piece of information concealed in the annals of dwarven lore, a name veiled in obscurity: Balin Ironbeard. I sought information regarding his burial site, as I was aware that the secrets concealed within his final resting place held the answers to a long-forgotten chapter of history, a chapter that would soon demand my attention. Laughably, the crucial information regarding the tomb's location was inscribed on a scroll that had been won in a game of chance by none other than a seemingly unassuming gnome known as Whiskey Slim. The circumstances surrounding its acquisition were as improbable as they were unexpected, a twist of fate that had brought this unlikely character into the fold of an adventure fraught with significance. However, Whiskey was resistant to part with the scroll, clearly troubled by an incident from the previous night.
Ha! Mori Wilkins took all my money, mate! You see, friend, Mori Wilkins is no ordinary gambler. He's got ties to those treacherous Bloodsail buccaneers, and they've been known to play dirty when it suits them. I'm swearing by me lucky flask that Mori cheated me out of every last piece of gold I had. I'd bet me last copper that he used some foul trickery, but I couldn't prove it. Now, here's the twist in the tale, mate. I've got something that might be of interest to you. A scroll, huh? A scroll holding the secrets of Balin Ironbeard's tomb. If you can do a bit of, shall we say, persuading to get Mori to admit his dishonest ways, that scroll's yours. I've had enough of it and would gladly see it in more capable hands. What say you, Cedric Ironbook? Are you up for settling the score with that crafty scoundrel?
As a lore-keeper, I've always preferred the path of knowledge over violence, but the significance of this information compelled me to act. Retrieving Whiskey Slim's lost fortune from Mori Wilkins had become a mission of importance. I had learned of a nearby Bloodsail Buccaneers camp through whispers among the locals, and it was there I set my sights on finding Mori. I waited patiently in the early night, lurking near Booty Bay, hoping to catch Mori Wilkins when he returned for another round of gambling. My patience was wearing thin as I contemplated abandoning my watch. However, just as I was about to call it quits, he made a rather unexpected appearance. Mori Wilkins, a rather disheveled and anxious figure, had finally returned to Booty Bay. But Mori, ever the slippery one, was well versed in avoiding those who sought retribution. The moment he sensed my approach, he darted away, disappearing into the dense jungle with the swiftness of a shadow. As Mori dashed deeper into the jungle, I couldn't let him slip through my grasp. Without hesitation, I pursued him, each step taking us further from the beaten path. In my heart, I knew that straying into this wild territory was not a wise decision, for the Stranglethorn Vale was infamous for its untamed dangers. But my determination to retrieve the scroll and uncover the secrets of Balin Ironbeard's tomb urged me forward, even as the jungle whispered its mysterious warnings. Despite my best efforts, Mori remained elusive, disappearing further into the dense Stranglethorn jungle. As I pursued him, a growing sense of unease settled upon me. It began as a subtle discomfort, like the first hint of a fever. But with each step deeper into the wilderness, the sensation intensified. The jungle seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy, and the air grew heavy with an inexplicable aura. It was as if the very essence of the Stranglethorn Vale was working against my presence, warning me to turn back before it was too late. My vision began to blur, and every breath became a laborious effort. Panic gripped me as I struggled to stay upright. It was then that a horrifying realization struck me like a thunderbolt. I had ventured far too close to the infamous troll city of Zul'Gurub. The oppressive atmosphere, the eerie sensations coursing through my veins, all pointed to one dreadful truth. I was within the grasp of their dark magic. Fear and desperation welled up within me as I fought to maintain consciousness, knowing that in this forsaken place, the trolls held the power to make or break a soul. Finally, the troll magic overcame me. As my world faded into darkness, I succumbed to unconsciousness. In the grip of the darkest dreams, I awaited the uncertain fate that awaited me. Amidst the troll magic's grasp, comprehension eluded me entirely, leaving me utterly lost and helpless. The troll magic infiltrated my consciousness, its grip tightened, and a sense of hopelessness crept over me. But suddenly I sensed a sudden surge of hope. Through my numbness, I could sense approaching footsteps. The enigmatic figure drew near, knelt before me, and whispered softly.
Stay strong, for darkness yields to the light.
I can't recall the specifics of the events that followed, but a deep-seated understanding remained. The night battled on my behalf, triumphing over the troll magic. I sensed it deeply. The night had a final struggle ahead to defeat the origin of the magic. As the magic began to dissipate around me, I sensed someone approaching, drawing nearer.
We're square now, Cedric Ironbeard. May our paths never intertwine again.
My return to consciousness was a hazy and bewildering experience. As my eyes fluttered open, I found myself lying in a makeshift bed within the familiar surroundings of Booty Bay. Confusion gripped me as I struggled to piece together the fragments of my recent ordeal. How had I ended up here, and what had transpired in the depths of the Stranglethorn jungle? Desperate for answers, I made my way back to Whiskey Slim, the gnome gambler, and recounted the events that had transpired. Whiskey Slim, still trying to make sense of the bizarre turn of events, leaned in to recount the unusual encounter.
You won't believe it, mate. Out of the blue, this fella just pops up and he's got you, out cold, slung over his shoulder. Not a word from him, I tell you, but that Stormwind tabard was sitting on his chest like it owned the place. No nods, no howdy-doos, just hands me a bag of gold, big enough to make Mori's swindles sting a little less, and pays off your tab too. Then poof, he vanishes as quiet as a whisper, melting into the shadows. Let me tell you, Cedric, that fella was something else. I've seen my fair share of characters in these parts, but he's in a league of his own. As for that scroll you're looking for, consider it yours. After what that mysterious knight did, the least I can do is help you on your quest.
As I reflect on this peculiar adventure, I couldn't help but marvel at the strange tapestry of fate that brought together the likes of Whiskey Slim, Mori Wilkins, and that enigmatic knight in the tangled jungles of Stranglethorn. But did I know this enigmatic soul in another life, or was he but a passing hero in my tale? The enigma surrounding my savior would remain unresolved for now. There were more urgent matters to consider. With a sense of anticipation, I unrolled the scroll of Balin Ironbeard and traced my fingers over the marked location. Wetlands.